My name is Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Colorado. I use nutritional supplements in my practice, don't use toxic pharmaceutical drugs, never did like toxic pharmaceutical drugs, never even understood the concept of using toxic pharmaceutical drugs for a sick body to help heal illness or to help heal disease. I thought we'd start off the program today talking about the biggest disease, the big kahuna, the number one cause of death in this country, heart disease, leading cause of death in this country and around the world. Now, aside from the obvious fact that every split second of our lives, this biological marvel is electrically and rhythmically pumping over a gallon of blood through thousands of miles of vessels throughout the body, why the heart should be such an important organ system when it comes to early aging, disease, and ultimately death, aside from the obvious fact that the heart is constantly pumping, why the heart is so involved in our degenerative disease crisis, degenerative disease in general, is an interesting and multifaceted subject that's associated with psychological stress and digestive issues, and that includes leaky gut syndrome, good bacteria in the intestine, the bile in the liver. All of these play a role when it comes to heart disease. Sugar plays a role, as does the hormone insulin, and of course, nutritional deficiencies are important as well. Bottom line is here, if you are one of the many millions of Americans dealing with this potentially deadly disease, you have lots of non-medical options at your disposal. Last week, a study was published in the European Heart Journal warning physicians that a drug called digoxin, which has been used worldwide for centuries as a pharmacological intervention for heart disease. Last week, a study actually determined that digoxin might be a cause of death and strokes for patients who have heart disease, the very patients who are being prescribed this especially toxic medication. It should be ironic, but unfortunately it's not. Almost 7 million Americans with heart failure and arrhythmias, including AFib, are being prescribed one of the most heart toxic of all medications, digoxin. Digoxin is considered to be the oldest of the pharmacological interventions for treating heart disease. Digoxin was first discovered in the late 18th century by a guy named William Withering, and digoxin is on every pharmacist's top 10 list of toxic medications. It's also on the World Health Organization's list of essential medications. The typical dosage of digoxin is somewhere around 0.1 milligram, very tiny amount, and it doesn't take much more than that to go into side effects and to go into adverse reactions and to go into toxicity. If you're concerned about heart disease and you don't want to be a ward or a patsy of the medical model or an ATM machine, as Dr. Wallach says, there's lots of nutritional, non-doctor, non-medical, non-drug strategies you can use. For one thing, you want to know about something called nitric oxide. Nitric oxide has stupendous value for the heart. If you've ever taken nitroglycerin, Nitrostat is the brand name, or if you've ever taken a drug called Asserting, both of which are used for heart health issues, you've been a participant in nitric oxide elevation, as these drugs work by increasing the availability of nitric oxide. These days, if you read health magazines or bodybuilder magazines, weightlifter magazines, you're going to know about nitric oxide, and you're going to know about nitric oxide supplements. This little molecule is not only important for heart health, it's also important for anti-aging, it's important for bone development, muscle development, and general healing. Nitric oxide is a multifunctional substance. It does lots of different things for health and wellness, primarily because it opens up blood vessels and has a dramatic effect on improving circulation. The same nitric oxide molecule, by the way, is considered an environmental pollutant when it comes as a byproduct of internal combustion engines, also of industry. Nitric oxide is produced in lightning storms as well. But inside the body, that's a totally different story. Inside the body, nitric oxide is not a toxic gas. It's a magical breeze, a magical vapor that is especially important for the blood system, especially important for opening up blood vessels and lowering blood pressure and increasing circulation to all of the organs of the body. The most tried and true mechanism, the most tried and true way to increase nitric oxide levels in the body is to eat it, primarily by eating protein, especially whey protein. But you can also get nitric oxide boosting properties or nitric oxide boosting effects by eating vegetables. Remember Popeye? What did Popeye do when he needed to have some super strong, some super strength, some excess energy? What did he do? He opened up a can of spinach. Why spinach? Because spinach is a great source of nitrogen, which can be converted into nitric oxide. And that, of course, means spinach and other veggies, beets and celery. They can all be important for the health of the heart and the health of the circulatory system in general. This is how the Mediterranean diet works. If you've heard of the Mediterranean diet, folks who live in Greece and and in Italy along the Mediterranean coast are well known for having low incidences of heart disease, and they attribute it to the Mediterranean diet, which is a great source of nitrates and nitric oxide boosting nutrients. Another way to get your nitric oxide levels up is to get some arginine. Arginine is an amino acid that's found in whey protein, especially in the Slender FX from Youngevity. And you can also get benefits, by the way, if you're using nitric oxide, you can also get benefits for arrhythmias, AFib, for example, or ventricular tachycardia. All of these are issues around electrical conductivity in the heart, and nitric oxide boosting is one of the best strategies for helping reduce arrhythmias and angina, absolutely miserable experience where the heart vessels kind of contract, basically because they're so destabilized from inflammation and malnutrition that the heart just kind of freaks out, basically. Anybody who has angina will tell you it's an absolutely miserable condition. Nitroglycerin is used as a pharmacological treatment, pharmacological intervention. But you know what? You can make sure you're getting your nitric oxide by eating your veggies, your beets, and your celery, and especially getting your arginine from whey protein and the Slender FX. All of this is to say that you don't need a doctor, you don't need a pharmacist, you don't need Obamacare, you don't need insurance, you need a good diet, you need the Healthy Start Pack. That's where good nutrition begins, no matter where or what your health challenge is. The Mighty 90 Essential Nutrients are must-haves for all of us. If you're interested in using the Healthy Start Pack or any of the other Youngevity products formulated by Dr. Wallach, or if you have questions about health or nutrition or prescription drugs, we are here for you. 831-685-1080 is our priority line number, 888-379-2552, toll free. I'm Pharmacist Ben, sitting in for Doc Wallach today. We're coming back right after this with more good health information on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program.
You may have heard about the 90 essential nutrients or the Mighty 90 needed for good health. But with all the products out there, what exactly are they talking about? The Mighty 90 is 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 60 plant-derived minerals, and 2 essential fatty acids. So now you know. But with all the products you see and hear advertised, what exactly do you buy to come up with the Mighty 90 and the right ratios to promote good health? Youngevity has made it easy with the Healthy Start Pack, which contains 1 canister of Beyond Tangy Tangerine Vitamin and Plant-Derived Mineral Complex, 1 bottle of Bone and Joint Enriching OsteoFX Plus, and 1 bottle of EFA Plus Essential Fatty Acids, all in the proper ratios to promote good health and vitality. If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local Youngevity associate, and don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
Numerous studies have shown the link between the intake of antioxidants and disease prevention. Foods and supplements are measured in an ORAC scale. ORAC is an acronym for Oxygen Radical Absorption Capacity. In other words, the ability to remove disease-causing free radicals from the human body. Youngevity's Cell Shield RTQ has an ORAC value of 15,800 points per serving. Cell Shield RTQ contains resveratrol, known as an anti-aging compound, turmeric, known for promoting healthy digestion, brain function, immune system, and cellular longevity. Quercetin, a flavonoid, is known for promoting healthy blood sugar metabolism and healthy lung and cardiovascular function. Remove free radicals from your body with Cell Shield RTQ from Youngevity. If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local Youngevity associate, and don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
I'll be sitting in for the next 45 minutes with my good friend Doug Winfrey. Greetings, Doug. What's going on today?
Great to have you on, as always.
Thank you.
Got a CNN story here, headlined Best Sunscreens of 2015 that we are not using, especially men. They say, who's worse at protecting their skin from the sun and skin cancer, men or women? They say, according to a study by the CDC, only 14.3% of men regularly use sunscreen. Women don't win any awards in that respect either, as only 29.9% apply to their face and bodies on a regular basis. They say more than a third of both sexes who do use sunscreen weren't sure whether the type they use provided broad-spectrum protection, both against UVA and UVB rays. According to senior analyst Sonia Lunder of the Environmental Working Group, a research advocacy group that publishes a list of best and worst sunscreens every year, says UVB are higher energy and responsible for sunburn, whereas UVA rays are lower energy, are more constant around the year, can go through glass, and they are related to skin aging, known to depress the immune system, are linked to melanoma, the most deadly form of skin cancer. So it's not surprising the study found more women using sunscreen, yet melanoma is the most often found on the trunk of the body, according to Don Holman, a behavioral scientist at CDC's Division of Cancer Prevention and Control. They say melanoma is the third most common cancer in adolescents and young adults. Costs our society $3.3 billion, that's billion with a B, each year, according to the Surgeon General's report on skin cancer. Say if current trends continue at the current rates of death for melanoma, that it will be the only objective of the Healthy People 2020 that will not meet the targets for reduction of cancer deaths. They say one goal is avoid sunburns, no matter what your age is. They say try to stay out of the sun between 10 a.m. and 2, wear protective clothing, use a wide brim hat, sunglasses, and apply sunscreen every 2 hours.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's from the Surgeon General.
Yeah, Mr. Surgeon General, Dr. Surgeon General. How do you think sunscreens work? Do you think they magically deactivate the sun somehow? They're toxic. They're awfully toxic. In fact, if you were to eat a sunscreen, obviously nobody's eating a sunscreen, but if you were to eat a sunscreen, you'd be dead. You'd have to get your stomach pumped or you'd be dead. The stuff is toxic. It's awful. It's poisonous. And for any healthcare professional, I'm sorry, I just get really mad when I hear this, Douglas. For any healthcare professional to say slather on a poison every 2 hours, what are they thinking? And by the way, not everybody agrees that the sun and melanoma are related. There's a guy named Dr. Bernard Ackerman, a dermatologist of all things, who wrote a very detailed book called The Sun and the Epidemic of Melanoma, Myth on Myth, where he concludes that the epidemic, and this is a dermatologist, Douglas, Dr. Bernard Ackerman, Ackerman, Google him, The Sun and the Epidemic of Melanoma, Myth on Myth. He concludes that the epidemic of sunlight-caused melanoma is a myth, and I concur with Dr. Ackerman. Yes, the sun is high energy. The sun can turn cells cancerous under the proper conditions, but the proper conditions mean nutritional deficiencies. The proper conditions mean inflammation. The proper conditions mean lots of sugar and processed food. This is really the problem. Human beings grew up in the sun. Human beings grew up on the African savanna. We evolved with the sun, and we've got mechanisms in place in the skin to protect us from the sun. The best way to protect yourself from the sun is to make sure you're eating correctly, and to make sure you're getting on a nutritional supplement program, and to make sure you're not eating lots of processed crappy food. And also, by the way, to make sure you're taking care of your health in a general fashion by using deep breathing techniques, making sure you've got appropriate psychological coping skills, all the things we need to do to stay healthy. And they don't involve avoiding the sun. The sun is our friend, not to mention the fact that you need the sun to fight cancer, not to mention that you need the sun to fight skin cancer and melanoma via vitamin D. The sun gets turned into vitamin D. Don't we all feel better when we're out in the sun? All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. Got more good health information for you on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program. And we got your phone calls, too, at 831-685-1080 or 888-379-2552. 888-379-2552. Don't go away. We'll be back right after this.
Antioxidants found in many fruits and vegetables are known to help support and promote good health. Research has also shown that dark chocolate, once known as the food of the gods, is rich in healthy nutrients. In fact, dark chocolate is higher in antioxidant content than any other food. Longevity has combined a proprietary blend of velvety rich dark chocolate with whole fruit pulp and whole fruit juice extracts from mangosteen, goji or wolfberry, acai berry, and cherry, along with vitamins and minerals, producing a smooth, rich, delectable concentrate called Cocogevity. It tastes so great, I sometimes drink it right out of the bottle or pour it over ice cream. Cocogevity is highly bioavailable, meaning your body will absorb and make use of all of these healthy nutrients. If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local longevity associate, and don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
Through his research as a veterinarian, Dr. Joel Wallach discovered that most health problems afflicting livestock can be prevented and even reversed. Many of these same health challenges also occur in humans. These too can be prevented and reversed. Doc's original formula, called the pig arthritis formula, alleviated all arthritis symptoms in animals. The same basic formula has been developed for humans, called the Pig Pack, which includes plant-derived minerals, a multiple vitamin complex, glucogel, and EFAs. Add to that Youngevity's OsteoFX Plus, a proprietary blend of liquid calcium, magnesium, and glucosamine. Now you have the Pig Pack Plus to make up the 90 essential nutrients Dr. Wallach has identified as necessary for sustained good health and longevity. If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local Youngevity associate, and don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
You've listened to physician and veterinarian Dr. Joel Wallach help many people on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie talk radio program. You've also heard hundreds of people tell how Dr. Wallach and Youngevity products have changed their lives. If you're now convinced that Dr. Wallach is onto something and you want to try Youngevity's premium quality products for yourself, we can connect you with a distributor that serves your local area. Simply call our special helpline voicemail at 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call right now and leave your name, telephone number, or email address, and we'll see to it that the right person contacts you shortly. Remember, the phone number, 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call now to change your life. That's 313-444-3463.
Doug, every summer we talk about the whole sunscreen thing, and we rip on sunscreens. It just doesn't make sense to me, first of all, why anybody would want to slather a drug. And by the way, these things are drugs. They're regulated as prescription drugs, or not as prescription drugs, as over-the-counter drugs. Why would anybody want to slather a drug all over their skin?
I think people aren't aware of how toxic they are. Because you see the ads on TV, and
they don't tell you that
everybody's all smiling and having fun at the beach or at the lake or riding in their boat or playing tennis outside in the sun, and it's just like the drug commercials. They're all the drug commercials you see where everybody's happy and smiling.
They're always healthy, right?
And
Even
they
the
look real
diabetics
healthy.
They're mountain climbing or whatever.
I started doing a little, just kind of an entertainment thing for myself, because when I'm watching television in the evening, I often see a lot of these drug ads, and I've started putting a stopwatch to them and timing, and how much of it is telling you how great the drug is and how much is the side effects and how it's going to kill you or make some body part fall off or something. And there's more side effect than there is actually good stuff. You say the commercial 60 seconds, about 20 seconds of it will be the good stuff and 40 seconds will be the side effects.
Well, that tells you all you need to know right there.
Yeah, it really does.
Would it surprise you if I told you can use nutritional supplements for sunscreening?
No, I've heard you say that before.
Especially eye vitamins.
Well, I was just telling one of our engineers here that I've been trying to be really diligent about doing the BTT every day, and I'm not 100%, but I try to be as obsessive about it as Doc is. And what I've noticed the last couple of years is even when I am out in the sun, I don't really get sunburned. Because I think it's because I have all the nutrients.
Exactly. And you know what? You can test this out yourself. Anybody out there listening, if you're going to go out on a cruise or you're going on vacation this summer, you're worried about sunburning, take a month before you go out. Get yourself on the Vision FX. Get yourself on the Healthy Start Pack. Make sure you're getting your vitamin C and your vitamin E and your omega fatty acids, etc. Give yourself about 30 days before you go out in the sun. And exactly what Doug just said is what you're going to notice. You're not burning anywhere near as readily. And the way I look at it as a skincare professional, if we are burning fast or melanomas and skin cancers, etc., that's much more about nutritional deficiencies. That's much more about poor dietary strategies than it is about sunscreen and lack of sunscreen. Why are the dermatologists not saying, watch out for sugar intake, watch out for processed food intake, correct digestive health conditions, make sure you're practicing deep breathing techniques? This is why we rip on the medical model so much. It's because of this one pointed focus on drugs, and I'm including sunscreens in that equation, sunscreens being over-the-counter drugs. If you see a sunscreen with an SPF on it, you know you got yourself a drug. And it's this one pointed focus on pharmacological intervention at the expense of using good nutrition, good dietary strategies, good lifestyle strategies that makes the medical model such a ideal whipping boy for our degenerative disease crisis, our cancer crisis, and our heart disease crisis. Look, guys, If you are not on a nutritional supplement program, you're missing the boat. If you're not on a nutritional supplement program, but you're on prescription drugs, not only are you missing the boat, but now you're exposing yourself to toxins, and without the nutrients that are responsible for detoxifying those toxic pharmaceuticals. And that's one of, by the way, that's one of the little dirty little secrets of the medical model. When you take a prescription drug, or when you slather on a drug, over-the-counter drug like a sunscreen, you're not only depleting your body of nutrients, but you don't have the nutrients that are responsible for helping you detoxify those pharmacological agents.
You've listened to physician and veterinarian Dr. Joel Wallach help many people on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie talk radio program. You've also heard hundreds of people tell how Dr. Wallach and Youngevity products have changed their lives. If you're now convinced that Dr. Wallach is onto something and you want to try Youngevity's premium quality products for yourself, we can connect you with a distributor that serves your local area. Simply call our special helpline voicemail at 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call right now and leave your name, telephone number, or email address, and we'll see to it that the right person contacts you shortly. Remember, the phone number, 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call now to change your life. That's 313-444-3463.
Hi, this is Dr. Joel Wallach, your host of Dead Doctors Don't Lie. If you're interested in a colon cleanse, blood cleanse, liver cleanse, in the classical herbal way, you want to ask your Youngevity associate for Herbal Rainforest. Herbal Rainforest has 16 herbs, 16 cleansing herbs, classic cleansing herbs, and 77 plant minerals. That's right, and these are all organic. It doesn't get any better than that. In your busy day, and you're around all these toxins out there in your workplace, on the way home, going to work, in your food, in the air, in the water, you need Herbal Rainforest. I guarantee you, it will give you a cleanse. You can control the dose. It's a liquid. It tastes good. It doesn't get any better than this. A colon that's happy makes you happy. Nothing better than a happy colon. Herbal Rainforest. Clean it out.
For more information on this product or others you've heard about on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie radio program, call your local Youngevity associate today. And don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
Greetings, everyone. Judy DeVilbus here. What do you think of when you hear the words tangy tangerine? Well, I think of like a sweet, tangy tasting something. Well, what I'm referring to is the Ultimate Tangy Tangerine. It's a fantastic product. It has everything you need, and a great benefit is it's very, very delicious. It's very easy to drink. I've suggested it even to youngsters. Even children like it. Even little guys. Even little girls. They come right into my office. Their parents can't get them to take those chewables, and besides that, they're not as good as Tangy Tangerine. And I give them a little taste of that, and you know something? They're pleased as punch. So, if it's good for a child and it tastes delicious, why not you? There's no excuse not to take a vitamin when it tastes as good as that does. So how about it? Tangy Tangerine should be the answer to all of your nutritional program problems.
For more information or to order, call your Youngevity distributor today. And don't forget to ask about Youngevity home-based business opportunities. Let's head to Texas, and Cassandra, you're on with Pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
Hey, Cassandra.
Hey, Mr. How you doing, Ben? How you doing?
I'm doing good. What's up?
I was wanting to know, what is Dr. Wallach's specific formula for Parkinson's disease?
I can't tell you. Maybe Douglas? I can't tell you what Dr. Wallach's specific formula for Parkinson's disease is. But here's the deal. Parkinson's disease is arthritis of the brain. It's the same thing. It's an inflammatory condition. It happens to occur in the brain, and the brain cells of the brain die, just like if you have arthritis, cells of the joint die. And this is really very important to recognize. We have this idea that there's all these different diseases. The World Health Organization tells us there's 12,000 different diseases. You got all these different names and specialists and diagnostics and different tests and drugs for different disease states, but the body just kind of breaks down the same way. It just happens in different areas. So what do you do for Parkinson's disease? Well, it's the same thing you do for any other disease. Number one, you get yourself on the Healthy Start Pack. That gets you your Mighty 90 essential nutrients. Number two, if there's any kind of inflammation that's getting into the bloodstream through the digestive tract, you start to work on your foods and you start to work on digestive health. That means the Biolumin Nightly Essence. That means doing intermittent fasting, using the Jordan Rubin Swear V products. And by the way, you'll notice that your Parkinson's symptoms start to diminish as you're eating less calories and as you're practicing, as you're eliminating foods out of your diet. You're eliminating problematic foods. Biolumin Nightly Essence, your ultimate enzymes, a little bit of apple cider vinegar perhaps with your ultimate enzymes. Stabilizing the blood sugar, very important for all inflammatory conditions, whether you're talking arthritis or whether you're talking ulcerative colitis or whether you're talking Parkinson's disease. That means laying off the processed foods and using your Sweeties, chromium, vanadium, and the Sweeties product, as well as the Healthy Start Pack, and maybe even the Fucoid Z or the Z Radical, which not only are important for digestive health, they're also important as anti-inflammatories, and they also have blood sugar stabilizing properties. So long story short, get yourself on the Healthy Start Pack. Make sure you're sipping on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Make sure you're stabilizing the digestive system by eliminating problem foods and using digestive support like the Biolumin Nightly Essence and the Jordan Rubin Beyond Organic products. And then last but most certainly not least, stabilizing the blood sugar using the Sweeties and what we call caloric restriction, restricting your calories. If you want to do one quickie thing, practice deep breathing. Make sure you're getting enough oxygen. Slow, deep breathing. Slow is very important. And make sure you're placing special attention on the exhale, because it's the exhalation where the body relaxes and where healing begins. So practicing your deep breathing techniques should never be marginalized when it comes to inflammation or degenerative disease, whether you're talking Parkinson's disease, whether you're talking arthritis, whether you're talking autoimmunity or whatever. All right, I hope that helps. Thanks so much for your call. Let's see who's next, Douglas.
All right, let's head to Florida. And Ivande, you're on with Pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
Ivande, I like that. What's up, Ivande?
Hi, Evadne.
Ivadne. How you doing, Ivadne?
Yes.
How can we help you today?
Okay, I need to have some information on treatment of Angelman syndrome.
Angelman syndrome. Well, you're not going to. Angelman syndrome, just for the listeners, is a kind of rare, actually, genetic disease. It's a disorder that comes from birth, usually associated with, like all genetic issues, as Dr. Wallach has said for many years, with nutritional deficiencies, with mom's nutritional deficiencies as the baby is being formed. Once the baby is born with this chromosomal kind of damage, chromosomal deletion is actually what it is. You got Angelman syndrome. You're not going to make that disappear. And by the way, Angelman syndrome is kind of interesting. It's called Angelman syndrome partially after the pediatrician who discovered it, a guy named Harry Angelman, but it's also called Angelman syndrome because the people who have it, the kids who have it, have this youthful kind of happy appearance. They're joyful, and thus the term Angelman syndrome. Frequent laughter, frequent smiling. It's general happy demeanor is associated with this kind of interesting syndrome. Hang tight, we'll tell you what you can do about it. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program. We'll be back right after this.
You've listened to physician and veterinarian Dr. Joel Wallach help many people on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie talk radio program. You've also heard hundreds of people tell how Dr. Wallach and Youngevity products have changed their lives. If you're now convinced that Dr. Wallach is onto something and you want to try Youngevity's premium quality products for yourself, we can connect you with a distributor that serves your local area. Simply call our special helpline voicemail at 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call right now and leave your name, telephone number, or email address, and we'll see to it that the right person contacts you shortly. Remember, the phone number, 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call now to change your life. That's 313-444-3463.
I am Judy DeVilbus. Here I am speaking to you again. I just wanted to tell you that recently I started drinking the Whey Shakes again, the chocolate Whey Shake. And you need to remember, the Whey Shake isn't just for losing weight. It's a fantastic place to get your great protein. And if you're trying to gain weight, you can take it along with your meals. And the best part is, if you want to just have a great protein shake, do like I do. Put it over ice, stir it up, and you can sip on it for 20 minutes to an hour. I do it every single day. I absolutely love it. You need to get back to it too. It's really good for you. And it makes not fat, but it makes muscle after you work out. And you can also mix it up in a blender with an egg, and you have the most incredible health protein shake. Or mix it with a little water, stir it up, and you have a little pudding. And who doesn't like pudding?
For more information or to order, call your Youngevity distributor today. And don't forget to ask about Youngevity home-based business opportunities.
All right, we're back on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program, talking to Evadne about Angelman syndrome, a chromosomal issue, similar to something called Prader-Willi syndrome, if you've ever heard of that. Evadne, is it for your baby? Is this your baby, Evadne?
No, it's a friend's child.
Okay. How old is the baby or the child?
5.
She's 5 years old. All right, so here's what you want to do, okay? You're going to end up, if the child has this genomic or genetic issue, she's going to have Angelman syndrome. But what you can do is you can reduce any of the symptoms or make the child healthier by using just plain old nutritional strategies. Number one, any kind of foods that cause digestive distress have to be eliminated. Number two, get the child on the Healthy Start Pack. Use small amounts of the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, maybe 2 or 3 of the Ultimate EFA capsules a day. EFAs are very important for the brain. And then also a small amount, perhaps half a capful or so of the Beyond OsteoFX. That's the Healthy Start Pack. I would be using the Biolumin Nightly Essence, 1 or 2 capsules a day, assuming the child can take capsules. And then keeping the blood sugar stable is very important. The symptoms of Angelman syndrome, like the symptoms of any health challenge, will be exacerbated by elevations in blood sugar and by low blood sugar as well. I call it the high blood sugar, low blood sugar roller coaster. The way you protect against that is by using the sweeties, number one, and also by laying off of processed foods and cereals and breads and desserts and potatoes and French fries, all the foods kids love so much, and replacing those calories with a good protein supplement like perhaps the Slender FX. Make sure the child's getting enough eggs for her cholesterol and her protein in general. Also, vitamin B12 that's found in eggs can help with some of the neural symptoms, the nerve symptoms, the jitteriness and the jerky movements that are associated with Angelman syndrome. Treat the child with plain old good health care strategies using the Healthy Start Pack on a regular basis, on a daily basis, making sure you're stabilizing the blood sugar and making sure the child is staying away from any processed foods or foods that cause digestive distress. Thanks so much for your call, Evadne. Hope we helped you. Who's next on the line, Douglas?
Let's head to Maryland. And Tony, you're on with Pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
Yo, Tony, what's up? Tony.
Yes, hi, how are you?
How's it going, man? How can we help you?
Basically, I've been suffering from lymph node inflammation for the last year. I was wondering if there's something that you would recommend in order to tackle that.
The lymph is a circulatory system, like your blood vessels, or like your vessels are a circulatory system for blood. The lymphatic system is a circulatory system for waste, debris, for old cells, or for damage, or for infectious material, etc. So if you have a problem with your lymph, and lymph nodes are concentrations of lymph tissue, that means something's going on in your body. Your body's fighting something. You want to know what your body's fighting. It could be some kind of autoimmune problem that you have. It could be a digestive issue. It usually is associated with some sort of digestive health problem. The tonsils, by the way, are lymphatic tissue, and kids will have inflamed tonsils secondary to lymphatic congestion. And what you're experiencing is probably something similar. So here's what I would ask you, Tony. What else do you have going on? Are you have any digestive health issues, blood sugar problems? Are you on any prescription drugs? Do you have an immune disease of some kind? What else is going on in your body?
Well, about 4 years ago, I moved to Mexico, the country of Mexico.
Okay.
The last 3 years out of the 4 years I was there, I was sick 2 weeks out of every single month.
What do you mean by sick? What do you mean by sick?
Fever-like symptoms, diarrhea,
Okay.
cold sweats, the whole 9 yards. And it wasn't until I left Mexico that the problem disappeared. I went to London. I stayed there for 6 months, me and my family. And the last time I got sick was actually aboard the plane heading over there. My family and I, we sat next to a gentleman who was extremely sick, and we all got sick. And it was from that point, it was from that last sickness where my lymph nodes became like golf ball size.
Okay, so the lymph nodes aren't the problem, though. It's the sickness that we got to address. Does that make sense? Okay. So
I haven't been sick since.
You haven't been sick since, but the nodes are still inflamed?
Nothing. It's not feeling tender or anything like that.
Okay.
However, I have developed 2 new conditions in the last 6 months.
Which are?
Number one is I'm losing my hair around my on my laps on the inner thighs as well as around my wrist. And only in the last 2 weeks has it started to regrow now for the first time.
What's the other condition?
The second one is whenever I have, my time with my wife, I tend to get very unusual headaches. I don't know, migraine, I suppose, but it feels like it's all over the brain.
Yeah, there's something going on, Tony. There's something going on in your system. Here's what you need to do. Step number 1, always get on the Healthy Start Pack. That just gets you the basic bare bones Mighty 90 essential nutrients. Step number 2, we want to find out what's getting into your blood that's sensitizing you to circulatory changes. When you're sexual with your wife, your blood vessels are opening up, and that's causing a little bit of distress, and that's probably what the migraine headaches are from. So I'd be looking at something that's getting into your circulatory system, into the blood through the digestive system, first of all. That's the most likely suspect. So get yourself a food diary. Start writing down everything you eat, and then writing down digestive symptoms that are associated with specific foods: diarrhea, constipation, loose stools, bloating, gas, etc. And then you want to start to eliminate those foods. You also probably want to do some digestive support. In addition to the Healthy Start Pack, I'd be throwing in some of the Biolumin Nightly Essence. You may want to start practicing a little bit of intermittent fasting here and there as well. That will resensitize your body so that you'll know when you're having a digestive condition. Sometimes we don't even notice when we have digestive problems because they just happen so frequently. But when you do a fast, when you practice intermittent fasting, you become more sensitized to your digestive symptoms. So maybe a periodic fast can help. Use the Swear V or the Ameicans if you want to have a little bit of nutrition while you're doing your fast. And then last but most certainly not least, practicing slow, deep breathing, especially when you're sexual with your wife. Practicing slow, deep breathing beforehand and afterwards, that may help reduce the incidence of the migraine headaches. Focus on foods, focus on the Healthy Start Pack, or make sure you're using the Healthy Start Pack, and then some slow, deep breathing. I'd want to know what was getting into my circulatory system if I were you, because that's indeed what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like is going on. Thanks for your call, Tony. Hope we helped you out. Who's next on the line, Doug?
Let's go to Indiana, and Sarah, you're on with Pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
Hey, Sarah.
Hi. I actually just had a few questions regarding lichen sclerosis.
Okay.
I know a lot of doctors in general, it's not really something that they know a lot about, or
That's
they
right.
usually just prescribe steroid creams for
Well,
it.
that's the answer to your question right there. If you get prescribed a steroid cream, and this is true not just for you, my dear, but anybody who's out there listening, if you get prescribed a steroid cream, that tells you that you have an inflammatory condition. Okay?
Yeah.
Right? So lichen sclerosis, for the listeners, is a skin disease. It shows up on little kind of raised bumps or raised plaques that show up on the surface of the skin. They give you a steroid cream because that suppresses the immune system. So what does that tell you? If the treatment is a steroid cream to suppress the immune system, clearly the problem is an immune reaction. Something is percolating in the immune system, right? Your body's defending itself from something. Then the question becomes, what is the body defending itself from? And once you could figure that out, your immune system should naturally just quiet itself down. The inflammation should go away, and theoretically, the lichen sclerosis should disappear. So what you got to figure out is, what is getting into your system that's turning on the defenses? That's what your immune system is. It's your defense system, right? So how do things get into the body or into the blood or into the interior portion of the body? Through the digestive system. First thing, always focus on digestive health. It's very rare. I've been working with the skin for many years. It's very rare that somebody will have lichen sclerosis, lichen planus, or any skin condition without having an associated digestive health problem. Focus on the digestive system. As with Tony, our last caller, do a food diary where you're writing down every single thing you eat, every single thing that goes into your mouth, and then associating it with digestive health conditions: diarrhea, constipation, loose stools, bloating, etc. So important for all health conditions, whether we're talking Parkinson's disease, inflamed lymph nodes, or whether we're talking about lichen sclerosis or lichen planus or a skin condition. Focus on digestive health. Get yourself on the Healthy Start Pack. In addition to doing your food diary, it wouldn't hurt you to throw in some of the Biolumin Nightly Essence and the Ultimate Enzymes as well. All right, thanks for your call. Appreciate it. We're coming back with more good health information, more of your phone calls at 831-685-1080 or 888-379-2552. I'm Pharmacist Ben, sitting in for Dr. Wallach today. We'll be back right after this.
Good liver health is vital to your overall health. Did you know the liver is the largest gland in the body? Generating digestive enzymes, converting fat into fuel, controlling metabolism, regulating cholesterol in the blood, and neutralizing toxins and waste products. Decreased liver function can lead to debilitating diseases. Hepal, a proprietary blend exclusive to Prohoba International, can help support healthy liver function. Hepal is a blend of natural organic pollen extracts, including essential enzymes, botanical glutathione, which is considered to be one of the most powerful antioxidants for detoxifying free radicals and exogenous compounds, superoxide dismutase, and aloe vera, formulated to cleanse and support healthy liver function. If you'd like to have healthy liver function, call your local longevity distributor today, and don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
In recent years, several studies have discovered the health benefits of drinking coffee. Longevity has now taken it a step further with an entire product line of healthy coffees from Longevity's JavaFit selection of top-shelf gourmet coffees. All JavaFit coffees are made from 100% premium hand-selected Aracaba coffee beans grown in the finest regions of Latin America, all carefully roasted, creating a delicious, rich, full-bodied flavor. Try JavaFit's Immune Plus, a full, robust coffee blend combined with the immune-supporting benefits of echinacea and the full-spectrum daily requirement of vitamins and minerals. Boost your immune system every day with JavaFit's Immune Plus multivitamin coffee. Available in 30-count single cup or 24-count single pot packs. Contact your local Longevity distributor to get Javalution coffees. And don't forget to ask about the home-based business opportunity.
You've listened to physician and veterinarian Dr. Joel Wallach help many people on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie talk radio program. You've also heard hundreds of people tell how Dr. Wallach and Longevity products have changed their lives. If you're now convinced that Dr. Wallach is onto something and you want to try Longevity's premium quality products for yourself, we can connect you with a distributor that serves your local area. Simply call our special helpline voicemail at 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call right now and leave your name, telephone number, or email address, and we'll see to it that the right person contacts you shortly. Remember, the phone number, 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call now to change your life. That's 313-444-3463.
All right, we are back on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program. I'm Pharmacist Ben, along with Doug Winfrey, sitting in for Dr. Wallach. Who's next on the line, Doug?
All right, let's head to the United Kingdom. And Ruth, you're on with Pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
UK, what is up, Ruth?
Oh, hiya there, Ben. Is it Ben? I didn't
That's
quite
me.
hear that.
Yes, it's Ben. How's it going?
Oh, hi, Ben. Yeah. I've just got a question about my friend who's got type 2 diabetes.
Yes.
And I wondered which pack she should get.
Healthy.
And,
go ahead.
yeah, and would that be enough for her to come off the insulin?
Well,
gradually?
I'll tell you what. I can't tell you. I don't know what her diabetes, what the status of her diabetes is, but I can tell you for sure, people get off of insulin all the time by using a good nutritional supplement program. It happens all the time. Nobody is condemned to have diabetes. It's a leading cause of death. There's 100 million Americans. I don't know what it is in the UK. I imagine it's something similar. It's an epidemic, and it's a lifestyle issue. It's an eating issue, and it's a nutritional deficiency issue. It is most certainly not a medical issue. It is most certainly not a medical issue. So what you want to do, and diabetes is it's really a verb. Diabetes. You know, we say we have diabetes, we treat it as if it was a thing. It's not a thing. It's a process. It's a chemical process that is occurring every time we eat food. When we eat food, the body doesn't handle the sugar as effectively, and because sugar is such an amazingly high-energy toxic substance, aside from the tiny little bit that you need in the blood, around a teaspoon or so in a gallon, a little over a gallon of blood, Aside from that, over that amount, it becomes a toxin, and the body has all kinds of chemical mechanisms that kick in to remove that sugar out of the blood. When you have diabetes, that does not occur as readily, and so the sugar starts to build up, and that's where the damage comes from. Aside from sugar building up, your hormone insulin builds up, and you get a whole mess. Diabetes is a disease that is caused by elevated blood sugar and elevated insulin. Elevated sugar and elevated insulin can only occur in response to nutritional deficiencies and poor eating strategies. That means if you have diabetes and you don't want to have it anymore, or if your body is diabetes-ing and you don't want it to be diabetes-ing any longer, you got to focus on the foods you're eating, and you got to make sure that you're on a good nutritional supplement program. Get on the sweeties. Chromium and vanadium are two incredibly important minerals for helping stabilize blood sugar. The Beyond OsteoFX is also important. Magnesium helps stabilize blood sugar. The B vitamins, vitamin C, potassium, sodium, calcium, in addition to magnesium and the other electrolytes, are so important. You'll get those in the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. You want to throw in a couple other things, the Biolumin Nightly Essence is important because there's a very important relationship between how we process food via probiotics and good bacteria in the intestine and diabetes and the symptoms of diabetes. So throw in a little bit of the Biolumin Nightly Essence, and wouldn't hurt you to get on some of the Jordan Rubin products as well, the Beyond Organic Jordan Rubin products, the Ameicans, the Swear V, and even the delicious probiotic-enriched cheese. Long story short, I can't tell you exactly what's going to happen with your friend and their insulin, but I can tell you that many, many people, I've seen personally, many people get completely off of their insulin, at the very least reduce the amount of insulin that they're injecting by getting on the Healthy Start Pack, getting on the sweeties, getting on a good nutritional supplement program, and laying off the problematic foods that spike blood sugar. Thanks so much for your call from the UK. Appreciate it. See if we can get one more in, Douglas.
Yeah, we've only got about 30 seconds here.
All right, that's it. All right, so if you're on hold, I apologize. Call back tomorrow. We'll get you first up. Tell our call screener that we left you on hold. I'm Pharmacist Ben, been sitting in for Dr. Wallach. The bottom line of this whole story is, you guys, no matter what your health challenge is, I don't care if it's autoimmune, I don't care if it's Parkinson's disease, and I don't care if it's diabetes, whatever, there is a nutritional supplement strategy that you can use so you don't have to interface with the medical model. What's more, if you use the Youngevity nutritional supplements and you love the Youngevity nutritional supplements, you can get paid for sharing the Youngevity nutritional supplements. You can start your own business for a one-time $25 fee. You can start your own business. You can help spread the word about the power and the importance of a good nutritional supplement program, and you can make some money while you're doing it as well. I don't know of any business that you can start for a one-time $25 fee, let alone a business where you can help change lives, help change your life, and help change the lives of loved ones, friends, family members, and workmates, and everybody you know. That's the beauty of the Youngevity system, and that's the beauty of the Youngevity business that Dr. Wallach started going on 20 years ago. All right, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for listening, friends. I'm Pharmacist Ben for Doug Winfrey and all the folks at the ZBS Radio Network for Dr. Wallach. Have yourselves a wonderful, awesome, spectacular day. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye for now.
Hi everyone, Andy Anderson here. Are you using those handy little bottles of gel that zap germs, bacteria, and other nasties? In today's world, that's smart, especially with all the filthy doorknobs, shopping carts, and handrails we touch every day. Here's what you may not know. Once the alcohol evaporates, goodbye effectiveness. No more protection until you use it again. PureWorks to the rescue. Our FDA-compliant foam, lotion, soap, and spray do not rely on alcohol. Their killing power lasts up to 4 hours. PureWorks disinfecting spray is EPA certified to kill swine flu, bird flu, MRSA, HIV, hepatitis B and C, and a whole host of viruses and bacteria. Mold and fungus too. It's even safe around children and pets. You'll love the soft feel of PureWorks on your hand. It actually conditions and will not dry your skin. Here's a little peace of mind knowing your hands are still germ-free hours later. Get your hands on PureWorks and get PureWorks on your hands. Stand by. Pull out your paper and pencil for your local number to order PureWorks.